Dispatch number 17, Exploitation. Hit me, said Commander Sean as he wiped away the bead of sweat that was forming at the base of his forehead. Mission Specialist JB and Payload Specialist Risk looked on as the Brazorian blackjack dealer threw another card to the commander. Hit me again, said Sean as he looked down at the hand that he'd been dealt. He was currently 7 away from 21. The dealer placed the next card face down on the table and sent it over to the commander. JB looked down at the card, took a quick glance around the rest of the fully engaged table, then glanced back down at the card with a slight smirk. 21! Let's go, baby! Shouted the commander in excitement. Charkey, Josh Sooner, and Backdoor Keys all got out of their chairs in excitement to celebrate with their leader. As the casino dealer distributed their chips that Sean had won on the hand, Risk leaned over to the smiling JB and whispered amidst the sound of the cheering in the casino. "How'd you know he was going to win?" said the payload specialist quietly, trying not to draw any attention to the rest of the table. "This thing does some pretty crazy stuff," said JB, pointing to his new mechanical eye with a chuckle. "Almost wish that I would have ripped this eye out of its socket years ago. Unfortunately, the pit boss already spotted it and told me that I couldn't play any card games in any of the casinos at the resort. Guess I'll just be a bystander and check on the recruits to see if I can be of any assistance." Winking with his human eye, the mission specialist got up and stepped away from the table, moving towards the slot machines that seemed to be keeping the majority of Destiny's Fortune preoccupied. Britt, Sieber, Lahashua, Joe Sood, and Commander Vaughn all huddled around Main Street as the recruit kept firing away at the Brazoria slot machine. Winning on 8 of 10 of his last pulls, the recruit looked to stay hot, determined to hit the big one. "If I nail the jackpot on this pull, everyone in this row is getting free drinks on me the rest of the night," shouted Main Street as he reached for the machine lever. Cheers quieted to murmurs as members of Destiny's Fortune looked on in excitement. D. Persiv, Ardcar, Mr. Crispy, and Paco looked on from the machines in the same row, the intensity building as the machine reels began to slow down. Shrieks of joy erupted from the casino as the stars aligned perfectly for Main Street. "Triple sevens, baby! What a banger!" screamed Commander Vaughn as he and the rest of the recruits rambunctiously hugged the winning jackpot recruit. The yelling and celebrating could be heard throughout the slot sector of the casino. "I've never been this lucky in my entire life. Drinks on me for everyone, all night long," said Main Street as he collected his receipt from the machine. As soon as he and the rest of the party left that specific row of machines, a flurry of resort vacationers flocked to the hop machine, trying to also cash in on the magical run that just took place. "Protecting the reputation of Brazoria is my number one priority during the beginning of these dark times," said Tylea as he addressed his staff inside the casino's security room. "After Nifty and the Legion of Winds planned invasion, well, then Macedon and Simia were at risk. There's been widespread panic across the galaxy, of the likes of which I've never seen before. You know, panic leads to less travel, which ultimately leads to less people spending their hard-earned money within the resort. We must do everything that we can to hold Brazoria to the high standards that the galaxy expects." Tylea looked back at the security camera footage of the recruits celebrating Main Street's jackpot win, his eyes lighting up, despite one of his machines paying out more than he'd like to see. The humans arriving alongside the Theoluvians And the royalty and King Aras of Simia certainly helps the vibes around this area of the galaxy. The safer things are around here, the better. Outside of the occasional blaster exchange, of course. Giving the humans 200 credits each should encourage the high rollers to play more, especially if they are winning, like one of their recruits just did. Big money rolling around in the casino means the suckers will come out and play as well. Let's keep the good vibes rolling and everyone will be happy. I'll be out on the floor if anyone needs me, said Tylea, as he exited the security room and stepped out in the hallway that led to the main casino lobby. Things were about to change. In the possible event that things were to start to get chippy, at least we'll have firepower on our side. The heroic clang of the ringside bell sounded off within the casino coliseum. Deafening roars followed from one sold out crowd, and the announcement of the fight of the night battle was starting. Not only a casino, Brazoria was also home to the largest fight community within the Arderian galaxy. Flight Engineer Reimer, Captain Brian, Captain Wolfpup, Captain the Monstar made their way into the upper deck suite that was graciously granted to them by Tylea. Brazoria had gone above and beyond anything that the humans had ever expected when it came to hospitality from the resort. While the majority of Destiny's Fortune was having a blast at the casino, the commanders and Tylea figured that it would be good to give a few of the captains and Reimer a taste of entertainment in something that they all loved. I'm so fired up. There are signs everywhere stating that the champion actually is going to have a real test tonight, said Brian, bringing the Brazorian cocktail up to his lips. Don't tell me that, shouted Flight Engineer Reimer. I placed all of my 200 credits on the champion for shits and gigs. Captain Brian shrugged his shoulders, turning his head towards the entrance of the suite as three hooded figures made their way in and stationed themselves at the back of the room. Do we have any bad feelings about this? Said Captain Wolfpup as he pretended to eat popcorn out of Reimer's container. I'm starting to get anxious butterflies in my stomach, and I know that it's not because of the cocktails that I've already had. No. I'm sensing it too. I should contact the commanders, said Reimer under his breath. For now, we act like we're just enjoying ourselves so that they think that maybe we didn't notice that they're here. Before the contestants could even be announced, a wild shriek resonated from the main microphone that addressed the crowd. Something wasn't right. This is all a distraction, screamed the voice over the loudspeaker. The ice wolf planet of Laborio was destroyed this evening, its core burnt to a crisp following the arrival of the Legion of Wind. Gasp from the crowd echoed throughout the Colosseum as the captains looked back and forth at each other, trying not to draw too much attention to the fact that they knew more wind were in their vicinity. Reimer nodded to the group, as if to give the go-ahead to use any force necessary if an attack should arise. I now ask of the mighty Republic of Aradir, what say you of Nifty and his Legion of Wind? Said the voice over the loudspeaker. The Legion of Wind moved in behind the captains and activated their weapons of paralysis, immobilizing the several captains and Flight Engineer Reimer. Is there any way that we can turn this guy off? Shouted Tylea into his two-way. No, sir. It appears all his communicators have been jammed by Destiny's Fortune, said one of the security crew members. Tylea moved over to face the other side of the Brazorian complex, his eyes set on Destiny's Fortune sitting in the guest hangar. The least likely of outcomes has finally hit Brazoria. Let us embrace change in order to survive. Magma scarring. exclaimed King Uras. "A planet with an icy composition, such as Laborio, doesn't stand a chance against magma samples taken from the lava pools of Simia. The Legion of Wind must have been collected in the lava right under our noses during the battle near the defense tower. How could we have missed this? I have to go to Laborio to investigate. All due respect, my king, but I think the captains, Commander Sean, and I should go. For hierarchy reasons," said Commander Vaughn, a hint of hesitancy in his voice. "Stand down, Commander," said Ringbolt. "Let's hear what Tylea has to say, considering the infiltration of his well-protected casino." The sarcasm didn't sit well with the Brazorian leader. The incident wasn't going to sit well with the Deadheads Council either. "As much as I'd like to make the ultimate decision, it sounds like you all have things handled. Brazoria need not interfere with galaxy matters outside of what we deal with inside the battle arena. Whatever decision you come to need not affect us," said Tylea as he walked out of the room, noticeably ticked off the way that things went during one of the biggest nights the casino had seen in quite a long time. "Looks like we have decisions to make," said Ringbolt. "Time to rally the troops."
Recruits, it's time for you to choose what you think happens next. Select 1 if you think the captains and commanders take the space pod to Laborio. Select 2 if King Ares, Ringbolt, and astrophysicists take the space pod to Laborio. Select 3 if Flight Engineer Reimer, Payload Specialist Risk, and the janitors take the space pod to Laborio. Head to the Choose Your Own Adventure channel in the Shot to the Moon Discord and discuss your choices with fellow Space Pass holders. Listen to next week's podcast to hear what happens next.